Hey, everybody. You know what? I didn't check. Let's check. Audio. Okay, we're good. We're good. And a test. Okay. Hey, I am Heather, and welcome to this hump day. I hope everybody's having a great day today. And we are going to go over the basics, the beginnings, the everything. Yesterday we did color matching, and how to color match with airbrush and comparing airbrush to traditional makeup and how you color match and the difference between that and what you should expect. And that kind of got me on a roll. As far as good morning, Martin. Good morning, Veronica. Whoops, let me move my YouTubers so I can see them because we had a lot yesterday. So it got me thinking. Hey, Zandra, good to see you. Oh, good. Zandra liked it. But it got me thinking that we do cover a lot. Hey, Jeannie. Hey, Diane. Good morning. We do cover a lot in this. And, I always tell you, hey, we show you the kit, we show you the basics, and we start from the beginning. But I also do a lot of other makeup. And so I feel like, good morning, Cindy. We really need to kind of take a step back. Hey, Delbert, how are you? We need to take a step back and kind of focus on the beginnings, on the basics, on the people, because we know a lot of people got the system for the holidays and like a new year, new you. And so I want to make sure I want you to love it as much as I do. And so that's super oh no, Delbert, I'm so sorry, honey. I want you to love it just as much as I do. And so that's why I want to really kind of take it down a notch. So Jeannie, I haven't forgotten about doing reverse makeup. So we'll do that. But I really just want to, oh, that's awesome. We do have the best customer service, but I really want to bring it back. I've been doing this for 25 plus years. And so I was thinking about things that I hear repeatedly. And when I do, I also, we offer small group classes, and you can click the link below if that's something that you want to do. They're in small groups. There's only 10 people that can sign up. Not everybody shows up. So sometimes they're even smaller than 10. And it's a way, and I literally go to each person and ask what questions, problems, situate, whatever the case may be, and we go over that. And so these are things that come up quite frequently for new users. The color matching is the big thing, but along with color matching is application. And that's what I wanted to focus on today. We did go on how to color match yesterday. So if you missed that, check it out. But then also application, because most people will get their system home. They are so excited about it. They're pumped up and ready to look flawless. Let me move all this stuff over. But they put it on like traditional makeup. That makes sense. It makes sense that you would do that because that's what you know up until this point. So we can kind of figure out like, okay, this is a different way of putting it on, but how we do it, how we expect it to look is also different. Because with traditional makeup, you're going to see that opaqueness. So if I, wait, this is one. I'm like, we gonna take it back down to the basics. So this is one of our traditional makeups. How are y'all doing over on the YouTubers? And so if I put on traditional makeup, you see that, right? I didn't do that very well. It's been a while. But yeah, you see that, right? And then you have to work on blending that and getting that, whether you do it with a brush or a sponge, whatever the case may be, you can go in and you're working on taking that one spot and blending it around, okay? But you're used to seeing that, right? With airbrushing, we do not want to see that. What? I don't understand. And that's what people are expecting, okay? So I don't know why I just wiped that off, but we will. I do have a little bit of moisturizer on, a tinted moisturizer. But so with that being said, so we've already color matched me. If you didn't see it, watch it from yesterday. I am going to use the Rose Shade 3. All right. So if I'm going to show you the correct way right now. So I'm putting my drops in here, turning my system on, holding it 4 finger widths away from your face. This is the perfect distance to get perfect application. So if I am holding that distance, and don't put the makeup on with your eyes closed, open your eyes. But if I close my eyes, I can feel air here to here. Okay? That's where I can feel it. This is where the makeup's going to go. So think of that. Airbrush, airbrush. That, did your life change? That is where the makeup is going. So if I'm holding at this distance, I'm covering that amount of space, okay? Now, the other thing is I'm not just going to hold it here, right? I'm going to keep moving it. If I held it here, that's what I'm going to get. And that's not how you want airbrush makeup to go on. Okay? Makes sense so far? Is this helping? It's helping in my head. I just want to make sure I'm conveying it the correct way. Okay, so when airbrushing, you are never, hold on, let me pop these rules up real quick. Not the rules, but the tips on getting started. We tell you, keep that stylus moving, keep it 4 fingers and barely pull back on that trigger. And so you do want to keep that stylus moving. That's important. You do not want to be in the same spot twice, but there's overlap, meaning you're not doing this. Okay? And you're not painting a fence. With airbrush makeup, we do not have to cover every inch of our face. We can focus on the problem areas, blend out the rest, and we're done. So if I was applying it first pass, turn my system on, I'm going to start my movements first, because this is one thing that happens too, guys. When you first get the system, and I'm telling you, keep it 4 finger widths away, I'm telling you, watch yourself in the mirror to make sure you are keeping it 4 finger widths away. Because what happens is you either do this because something's blowing out your face, or you come in too close because we're used to touching our face. So watching yourself in the mirror, checking it every so often to make sure you are the 4 finger widths away is a great way to get started. It might sound silly. We're just using the air. Get familiar with the air and how it feels. Sorry. This is going to become second nature to you. It doesn't matter what's in my hand. I know where that 4 finger widths away is, and you will get there. Okay. So turning my system on, I'm also going to move it first. Don't sit there and wait and start pulling back on the trigger, waiting for the makeup to come out, because we are spraying so light that you might not feel it. So if you wait for it, if you just sit there and wait for it to come out, you're going to get that. Okay. So if this was my first pass, I'm going to start moving it first. Okay, that's one pass. Look at the difference, right? One pass. Do I see anything? Maybe, maybe not. I felt the coolness of the air, but when you are pulling back on that trigger, you will feel a little bit more coolness with the product being out, when the product's being let out. Another way to practice this is with water. You can put water in here and airbrush water on your face, doing all the things we tell you to do. Now, water weighs heavier than the foundation, so your face is going to be wet, but it's getting you used to the movement, the distance, and pulling back on that trigger. And you're not going to waste what Musette calls the gold. What does she call it? Liquid gold. You won't waste the liquid gold. Okay. Yeah, I knock on wood, I haven't had it yet. So I pray for anybody who has it and that you have a quick recovery. So does that make sense so far? Give me a heart. Give me 3 hearts. If that is making sense, give me 3 hearts that is making sense so far. All right. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so oh wait. Just kidding. Okay, so big difference from this, because if this was my first pass, I would have to do this. Right? Whereas this, I just went boop, 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 and I'm done. Okay? If I needed more coverage, what happens with that? I have to go out here, maybe do a little bit more like that, right? Yeah. Or I can do this. And make another pass. Now we're starting to see the coverage, okay? Right? Now, I'm going to leave this on because this is what we're used to. This is what we're used to. And then we blend that. Now, I am going to put my 8 drops in here. Okay? Actually, I am going to take this off. But see how this is already starting to cover, and then we would have to blend that. Make sure I don't have any demarcation lines and all of that. Now, I have to tell you, our foundation is amazing. I really do love our foundation. It's a different look, but it is a flawless look. And guys, I mean, if you want somebody to make a traditional makeup, it's an airbrush company, because that's what we're comparing everything to airbrush. Okay. All right. So how many, I know I've asked this before, I have my 8 drops in here. How many passes do you think I'll be able to make with those 8 drops? How many full, complete passes do you think I'll be able to make with 8 drops of foundation in my Breeze? Let me put on a little bit of moisturizer. Cindy says 6. 5. I feel like we're counting backwards. 6, 5. Okay. Gotta moisturize. Gotta moisturize. All right. Zandra says 6. I have asked this before. But so with the Breeze, if you can get, with this Breeze, if you can get 4 to 5 drops, golden. With a stylus, 5 to 6, perfect. Perfect. Now, some of you may be going, What? There's no way I can do that. No way. I'm lucky if I'm going to get one, because what do I hear? I hear a lot of times like I only could get half my face, and then I run out of drops. What that tells me is you're pulling back too hard on the trigger, right? Pulling back way too hard. So a lot of times I will recommend to take a paper towel, fold it up, hold it the 4 finger widths away, start your movement, barely pull back, and try to get the makeup to show up gradually, not at once. No, I don't want you to see it immediately. I want it to come out gradually. What this will do, it's going to help click in your brain that, oh my gosh, I didn't even think I was pulling back on my trigger and something's coming out. So it will help us in our brains think, okay, now I get it. It's coming out and I thought it wasn't. So that, yeah, I am spraying too hard. And so do that a few times. You can use like 5 drops just to see how long you can make those 5 drops last. Okay. So I'm going to do, and I'm moving my hair and everything back. I'm going to pull back too hard to show you what ends up happening, because that's what a lot of people end up doing is they'll start and I'm already out. Because what's happening, they're pulling back too hard on the trigger. And did you see how slowly I was moving this? Because you're trying to cover every inch of our face. Airbrush makeup goes on like little pixels, little dots all over our face. So we're just filling in those spaces. That first pass that you make, you might question whether or not it's even coming out. It's that second and third pass and focusing on those problem areas that you're like, oh, okay. So do what I say, trust the process, and it will happen. You have to think of it almost like magic. Like, okay, I'm going to do what Heather says, but she might be crazy. But here we go. Here's one pass. All right, here we go on another one. How do I still have makeup? I don't even think anything's coming out. That third pass, you're going to be going, what? Things are disappearing. Things are softening. So it will start getting easier. Let me wipe that off. Ugh. Also, if it feels wet or sticky, we talked a little bit about that yesterday too. If it feels wet or sticky, and I even pulling back too hard on that trigger, I even got it on my lips too. So it hurts the spray as far as being exact. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, starting again, turning on my system. And now starting in one spot, making my passes. The natural blush, oh, I did it the other day. Okay, that's one pass, guys. One pass. I'm almost out of my pixels. Okay, look. Nothing on my tissue or my paper towel. So I can go in, focus on those problem areas. My under eyes, even do a little bit on my lids. Down my neck. Still using the same 8 drops. I have that little dot right there. I'm going to go in and cover that guy. Let's go back on my forehead. T-zone. I'm going to stop it real quick. But look. Nothing. Nothing. Do you see the coverage starting to happen? You see a difference, right? So you know I'm really doing it. And to be honest, with this, I'm fine with this coverage. I'm really good with this coverage, okay? So I didn't even use, it's almost gone, but look, look, nothing. Now I'm gonna blow out what was left in my stylus. That's how I just had a little bit left. So I could have gotten away with 6 drops maybe, or, you know, less drops, maybe not needed the full 8. I am gonna do a little bit of highlight underneath my eyes. Two drops. Back and forth, and then pull down on the trigger. Okay. We did this yesterday where I can go in, do a little bit of brow highlight. I am coming in a little bit closer because I'm focusing on this area. What happens if I get a hot spot? What happens if I did that? Tap it out. Okay. Let's do a little bit more underneath to brighten my eyes. Okay. Still feels, it doesn't feel wet, guys. Not feeling wet. Let me see where I'll do a little bit of the natural blush. It takes you 5 drops. That's great. You'll find that perfect number for you. It depends on what foundation you're using. It depends on what kind of coverage you like. It's all going to change. But the big thing I always tell people, get the art of airbrushing down first and then start playing with it. If you know how to airbrush and you're treating it like an airbrush and not traditional makeup, then it doesn't matter what's in here. I'm going to do a little bit of the blush on my lids too. Look how pretty that is. This one, I think I got a little bit too wet. So what am I going to do? Tap it out. That's all you have to do. The natural blush doesn't bloom as much. Hey, Jacqueline, how are you? The natural blush doesn't bloom as much. Oh, thank you, Jeannie. But so you can get away with using a little more of the drops. And then, what was I going to oh, the stencil I normally use is it's between the 3 and the 4. I have to go into my makeup bag because I'm out of Dusty Rose here, and so I need to get it. So I'm going to add a little bit of the Dusty Rose. So guys, did this help with the application? My big thing. Hold on, I can't talk about this. Hold on. Okay. The big thing with the application, if you are new, is don't apply it like traditional makeup. Of course, you know, it's going to go on, it's applied differently anyway, airbrush, but don't apply it. I hope that makes sense. Don't put it on like traditional. Don't pull down hard. Don't expect to see it immediately. All those things. It is applied. It acts. It works differently. It says it does everything we say it's going to do, but just make sure you're doing it the correct way. If not, book an appointment with me. We have those small group classes, so definitely book an appointment. All right, guys? Well, all right. We are done for this. I hope everybody has a great Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a wonderful weekend if I don't see you back tomorrow. Bye for now.